Algebra 1, Chapter 1, Section 3, Solving Simple Equations. Simple is kind of synonymous, woo, okay, is a synonym mathematically of one step. So if you look at this going, all right, this is going to be easy. It actually will be, I think, in the long run. But don't be fooled. Simple just means one-step equations. So there's 4 different operations in math. We have addition, we have subtraction, we have multiplication, and we have division. This is one of my best straight to the point, let's just get the work done screencasts. So when you think of an equation, you've got equal things on both sides. So you should think like the old school scale, something you might you might see in a movie, or you might use in science class, where you take some off and add it to the other side to make it balance. So if I see an addition problem, okay, I want both things to be 8 on both sides. And to do that, I got to find out what I add on the left side to make it 8. So I'm going to subtract. I'm going to take this operation, which is addition. I'm going to do the opposite of it, and I'm going to subtract that 4 to get the x by itself. And 8 minus 4 is 4. I do a quick check. I plug that back in for x. 4 plus 4 equals 8. And so I know that checks out to be my proper answer. I'll just use the same numbers, but in this case it's going to be x minus 4 equals 8. So looking at the operation of subtraction, I'm going to identify my operation as subtraction. I'm going to do the opposite of that to both sides. And in this case, I'm going to get a value of 12. Plug that back in for a quick check. And that checks. And my value is 12. Again, I'm going to keep the same values, just using the 4 and the 8. In this case, 4 is being multiplied by x because there's nothing in between them. There's no addition or subtraction, so it has to be either multiplication or division. And since they're side by side, it is multiplication. So to get rid of that 4, I'm going to do the opposite of multiplication, which is division on both sides, giving me a value of 2. Again, a quick check. 4 times 2 gives me a value of 8. So I don't want to put the check mark by it. It makes it look like I got it wrong. That's a check, which means this is the correct answer. And so now, finally, I'm going to do a division problem. That's going to look like a fraction. So I am dividing by 4 in this case. The opposite of division is multiplication. So I'm going to multiply both sides by 4. In this case, that's where the 4's cancel out, giving me a final answer of x equals 32. Quick check. 32 divided by 4. And 8 equals 8. So my answer does check. So those are just some real quick with positive values. And let's throw a couple in there with some negative values. First, identify what the operation is. The operation is division, so I know I'm going to be multiplying both sides by a possible value of 5. Now I'm going to ask you, if I just multiply by 5, the 5's will cancel and I will still have that negative sign up in front of my x. So I recall that negative times a negative is a positive. So if I multiply this value by negative 5, that will not only cancel the 5, but it will cancel the negative as well, giving me a value of 10. So if I do a quick check of that, I had negative 10 over 5 equals negative 2, and that absolutely checks out to be true. Could also have some decimals. Those aren't too bad. I'm not too concerned with those. Could also have some, maybe some shapes. They're looking at finding a missing angle. So maybe it's not necessarily a perfect square or a rectangle or a triangle. And so maybe they give you 3 of the 4 angles and want you to find the 4th. So let's say that's 90, and this one is 60, and this one is 120. So if I totaled those up, I had the 90 and the 60 and the 120. I get 270. Those were horrible number choices that I chose. However, sometimes that happens in our book, and they don't give us exactly what it appears to be. So in this case, I'm going to continue it. No, I'm not going to continue it because that's just not even close, and that's going to hurt my eyes. So I'm going to go back here, and I'm going to say that this is 80. So again, that's one of the reasons why we write in pencil and get my degrees on those. So let's try 120, 90, and 80. That's going to give me a value of, let's see, 290. And so if the total of a quadrilateral is 360, then that final angle is 70 degrees. And I feel better about that visual representation. So maybe finding some missing things. And that is Chapter 1, Section 3, Solving Simple Equations.